I understand that it is very early in the season, but a lot of things are starting to clear up as far as which teams are going to be around potentially for a Super Bowl run. And as we expected, the San Francisco 49ers are certainly in this class. They are 3-0, one of just two teams that are currently 3-0, them and the Miami Dolphins. But a lot of things have happened just 3 weeks into the season that should give us 49er fans a lot of confidence. And I want to go team by team and just quickly give an assessment of where they're at and why the 49ers are 3-0 and can continue to make this push potentially for a Super Bowl. So let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, these are teams that going into the season we thought had a chance to win a Super Bowl. The Bengals, as it sits, are 0-2, which is actually not any different than what happened to them last year. They were 0-2 last year as well. However, they play tonight, and Joe Burrow has a calf injury that may keep him out. And even if he plays, he's clearly not 100%. So his injury is something to monitor, whether they decide to sit him for a few weeks or he plays through it. Either way, it sounds like it could hinder him for quite some time, and it is slowing down that offense in a big, big way. So right now, the Cincinnati Bengals at 0-2 are in a must-win situation early in the season with an injured quarterback at the helm. The Buffalo Bills. Listen, the Buffalo Bills lost a surprising week 1 game to the Jets, a Jets team that didn't have Aaron Rodgers, who went down with a horrific Achilles injury, unfortunately for him and the New York Jets. But the Buffalo Bills have bounced back. They've looked really good the last couple of weeks, and the whole team is dependent on one Josh Allen. When he plays great, they've got a chance to win. If he's struggling, well, they don't. They still don't commit to running the ball a ton. In fact, the Buffalo Bills on offense have faced 8 men in the box under 4% of the time. They should be able to run on those fronts, but they still struggle to establish a running game. It still is the Josh Allen show. Now, the defense is playing good football. They do still get Von Miller back in a couple weeks. So we'll see how the Buffalo Bills trend the rest of the year. But right now, they are trending upwards, but still very, very offensively dependent on just Josh Allen. So no changes there. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs, who lost week 1. That was a week 1 matchup against Detroit where they didn't have Kelsey or Chris Jones. They have bounced back very nicely the last couple weeks. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs. Not much different there. They are going to be contenders throughout the course of this year, no doubt about it. They are the one team that I think 49er fans would be a little bit scared to face in a Super Bowl, but also excited to try to get the get back with Patrick Mahomes and company. Now, we've got 2 more teams, I believe, left in the AFC. The Baltimore Ravens, who did just lose to the Colts yesterday. One thing to keep in mind with the Baltimore Ravens is a couple things. One, they've got a new offensive coordinator who's done a fantastic job. It looks like Lamar Jackson is picking up the offense. Hell, Lamar Jackson as a passer looks really, really good right now if you actually watch him play. Now they're going to start incorporating the run game a little bit more. They wanted to work in the pass first, make sure they mastered that, then start to use Lamar Jackson's legs. That is something that we should see here in the near future. But they're a team that's also very, very banged up. They had something like 8 starters out yesterday, which is massive. We know how that goes as 49er fans. The Atlanta Falcons game last year is a great example of that. It is easy to lose to a team that you shouldn't necessarily lose to on paper when you don't have all of your horses. And right now, the Baltimore Ravens are extremely banged up. I still think that they are a team that can make a late push if they can get healthy. And Lamar Jackson continues to play well and improve in this offense. And then the last team in the AFC is, well, the only other 3-0 team in the NFL, and that is the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins offense is electric. The defense is a little bit behind. They kind of got in a shootout week 1. It's getting a little bit better. And remember, they incorporated Vic Fangio this offseason. They also are without Jalen Ramsey, who should be making a return, a little bit later in the season. And we'll see what that does to the defense. But the Miami Dolphins are a threat because of the absolute team speed that they have. Mike McDaniels is a hell of an offensive play caller. He is really kind of setting the league on fire. 70 points from the Miami Dolphins, and they let off the gas. They easily could have broken that record in that game. They kneeled on fourth down. It is incredible what Miami is doing. Can they keep it up all year, though? Can Tua stay healthy? And really, can you rely on Tua all year long to keep this offense humming? Last year, the answer was no. We'll see what happens this year. And can the defense catch up with Ramsey coming in, eventually coming back to the team? And of course, Vic Fangio finally getting everything in order. That is a team to look out for as well. Now, I think the NFC, the list is extremely short. It is the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. The Cowboys losing to the Cardinals was a major, major shocker, but it shouldn't have been necessarily. And the reason is they lost their best corner, who was actually the best corner in football for just 2 weeks this year. He was allowing a passer rating of just 1 the first 2 weeks of the regular season. He tore his ACL in practice. That is Trayvon Diggs. And then they were without, I believe, 2 offensive linemen in this last week's game, but it might have been 3. I know a third one was questionable. I'm not sure if he ended up playing or not, but they are banged up as well. And the 49ers and the Cowboys play here in just a couple weeks. And then the Eagles, who are 2-0, they play tonight on Monday Night Football as well. Curious to see how their game goes against Tampa. But this is a team that started off a little bit slow, even though they're 2-0. Definitely not on fire like the 49ers or the Miami Dolphins by any means. That being said, they are a young team. They made a ton of wholesale changes this offseason on the coaching staff and the roster itself. So with that being said, it is no surprise that they would start out slow, but even in doing so, they may be 3-0 after tonight's game. They are going against the Bucs, who are also 2-0. So there will be a third team tonight, barring a tie, that is 3-0 after just 3 weeks, joining the 49ers and the Dolphins. And then let's talk about our San Francisco 49ers for just a minute. Holy smokes, the 49ers look really good. The week 1 win against Pittsburgh looks even better because now Pittsburgh has ran off 2 wins in a row since that game. And the Rams look pretty decent as well. We'll see how they do tonight on Monday Night Football against the Cincinnati Bengals, but they should be competitive in most of their games. They're a lot better team than what I believe most of us thought coming into the season. So those wins early on might end up being very good wins for the 49ers. And as long as they're healthy, I mean, geez, who's going to stop this team? I mean, definitely the most complete team offensively and defensively. Special teams is catching up a little bit of struggles early on, but Jake Moody's done great. The kick return team has done much better. I think the 49ers are the most complete team. And as long as Brock Purdy continues to ascend, man, sky's the limit for the San Francisco 49ers. But that is the snapshot. That is what the early Super Bowl picture looks like. And as you can tell with injuries across some of these teams, the picture is becoming very clear that the 49ers have a legit chance here. It is getting easier as the weeks go with some of the injuries to these other teams and some of the incomplete play, quite frankly, from some of these other teams. The 49ers have a real shot here to go win a Super Bowl. We knew it was Super Bowl or bust kind of going into the season. I think even more so with the way the landscape is falling thus far, it is proving to be even more Super Bowl or bust than ever before.